13th of August 2018 was the day Chris Watts unalived his pregnant wife Shannon Watts and their two children, Celeste and Bella. So this day, the transiting Pluto was at the same degree as Shannon Watts' sun degree and sign, and it was making a conjunction. The Pluto, transiting Pluto, was making a conjunction to Shannon Watts' natal sun that year. And also Mercury was in retrograde at the time in the sign of Leo, sign of children. We know that retrograde times are related to very important collective events that are about the past, and the retrograde is related to what the past brings to us and resolutions and endings in that. So Leo is sign of children. I'll be talking about the influence of the sky on that day and Shannon Watts' natal chart. This video is for education purposes only and specific to this incident, this case. So this doesn't mean if you have the same transits coming up, it doesn't mean that you will have the same thing happen to you. This is far beyond what I'm talking about here. So it is just a research. And for people that are still talking about this case, thinking about this case and wanting to know more, and they are astrologically curious about it, just to inform and educate. The inner circle is a natal chart of Shannon Watts, and the outer circle is the day of her passing. So at that day, Pluto was transiting in 19 degree of Capricorn, and she has her natal sun on the degree of 19 and sign of Capricorn. This is the conjunction that was going on for her for a year. So when it comes to conjunctions are the most important aspects in the astrology, and the most important aspects are also two are lights of the natal chart, moon and the sun, from other planets such as Pluto. Pluto is the in aspect hierarchy is the highest influence for our natal chart in transits. This is the first and last time that she's having this Pluto conjunction to her chart. This only happened in the time of Pluto being in these degrees of Capricorn at the time 2017, 2018, but it never happened before, and it will never happen again. If she was alive right now, it wouldn't be happening once again, because Pluto is passing, Pluto has passed Capricorn, and it will not be in a lifespan of a person, lifespan of a human will be in the same sign ever again. So this is a very major transit for a person. So another thing is the Uranus, another outer planet, is on top of Juno. Juno in retrograding, and it happened in the entirety of 2018 for her, and it's retrograde once again. So Juno is marriage, in astrology. So another thing to note here is transiting Mars is in 29 degree of Capricorn, and her natal Mars is at the 29 degree of Libra. This is an exact square of the time at the day 13th of August 2018 when this happened. So Mars in Mars square, and the Mars in her natal chart is in the sign of Libra, marriage and relationship, and the Mars is in Capricorn. So it is the time of separation, kind of cold reality that she's facing. And Another thing that is going to be important in this chart is that the Mercury is in retrograde, and Mercury in retrograde is retrograde in the sign of the North Node, and at the time the North Node was in Leo. So Mercury retrograding in Leo. What this means in collective, there are issues, there are topics going on in regards to Leo. Leo, children, love, relative to this case. So in this time, there are a lot of important transits. I'm not talking about the progress chart, the perfection chart. I'm not talking about solar arc. I'm just talking about the transits, and I'm not even looking at the solar return. I'm sure there are so many astrological hints there too, but the most important and then most fascinating one is that the Pluto is on top of Sun here, on top of her Sun, her vital energy, life energy. So this is very important. I wanted to show you, because Pluto means transformations and the very important days in our lives, it will always be related to a Pluto transit. So it doesn't mean that when you have the transiting Pluto conjuncting to your Sun, if it will happen in your lifetime, it doesn't mean that thing happening to you. It's just this case already happened, and how can we see in the transiting chart? So another influence I want to talk about is here the Sun is at the 20 degrees of Leo. Why is this case very important in the collective? Why is it very important? It is because children were harmed. It's the heart of the case is about children. It's because Shannon was also pregnant. It's because also Shannon's two very young children was unalived. It was that important because of this. You see the North Node in Leo, Mercury in Leo, Sun in Leo. Collective, what collective is talking about is in the sign of children as well.